Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Porky's Party, released in 1938. It's the 205th in the series and it's directed by Bob Clampett. You can find this on the Looney Tunes Golden Collection Volume 3 DVD set and also on the Porky Pig 101 DVD set. I have links below to both those sets. For this review, I've upscaled the standard definition image right up to high definition, so I hope you enjoy that. Now, in case you haven't seen this short before, as it is under copyright, not really much happens when you really think about it. I mean, Porky has a party, he invites two guests over, one penguin and one crazy duck that's not Daffy Duck. His dog is also trying to get ready for this party, and all these weird, wonderful gags happen, and that's pretty much it. So what you're going to see in this video is a re-edit of the original audio commentary I did before I had to take it down due to a request by Warner Brothers Legal, but thanks to my good friend Blue Genocide, he's helped re-edit for me along with the actual commentary for the storyboard that I did back then, so you're definitely in for a treat there. Plus, I'll be adding some new thoughts and a very brief clip from the Clampett Retrospective where my good friend Fox in a Fix will give his thoughts as well. So grab some popcorn and enjoy. I've been told by my good friend Austin Kelly, who's pretty much ID'd every single animator in this cartoon, but I won't bore you with every single IDs. But basically, the opening sequence, Bobo Cannon does that, the Happy Birthday to Me, and Norma Cape does the whole bras falling out of Porky's suit. Izzy Ellis animates the entire 40-second scene with Goosey helping the penguin out, and Chuck Jones animates every scene with the drunk dog. I mean, it's pretty amusing how Chuck Jones has done a few cartoons with a drunk theme, you know, especially High Note, which is one of my favourites. And John Carey animates a shot of the penguin swallowing the hat and some ice cream, as well as the end where Porky points out the mad dog. This is a great cartoon. I mean, I actually hadn't seen it for a while. I completely forgot about it, and it's the sort of cartoon that I honestly thought I would have, would have been one of my favourites list, but for whatever reason I forgot it. I think part of it might be that it's so gag driven and there's really no story here. It's just, oh yeah, it's a birthday party, that's pretty much it. That doesn't make it a bad cartoon by any means. It's just, I don't know, I find the more memorable ones would have a more, I guess, solid story to them, as well as heaps of gags. So, I mean, it's just, recently I did Porky the Fireman, and I think that's probably another one in the same situation, where if it's gag after gag after gag, yeah, it's funny, yeah, it's a great cartoon, but in terms of being memorable, maybe not as much. Now, I do like the fact that, as you'll see in the storyboards, that originally this penguin's going to be Gabby. Yeah, so Gabby was going to come back. So even though Gabby was pretty much done at the iBioWorks studio, as I've done the commentaries for, pointed that out, I guess he was planning to bring him back, and this was, I believe, going to be another appearance of Petunia. I mean, the duck was going to always be in there, but based on the storyboards, but I think there were plans to have Petunia as another party guest. Maybe it was just going to be too many characters, and if that was the case, then I definitely agree with it. But looking at the storyboards as well for this, it's amazing how close it was to what Gabby was going to do. But maybe they thought the top hat would be a better fit for a penguin, hence they changed it to a penguin. I don't know. It's really weird. But yeah, it's basically the same gags, just redone as a penguin. So there you go. That's why these storyboards are definitely so fascinating. I'm noticing that just a lot of these early Bob Clampett ones that's absolutely amazing. I mean, I still prefer the later ones where he had other people doing the gags for him, because I believe that he was still doing the gags at this point in time. And when there was a bit more of a story, it actually worked out a lot better. But you can't help but notice that, yeah, this is someone like in his prime. He's full of energy and he wants to get out there and, yeah, give it his all. I gotta say, I like the design of that duck. It's just that really long neck. It's just just a typical Bob Clampett duck. I don't know. Just I just like it. This is from the Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 3, and I do have a link below to purchase it. And you get all sorts of wonderful goodies like this in those sets, so I highly recommend them. Definitely highly recommend you looking at it. So, I actually haven't seen these for a while, so let's see. Would you break the wishbone with me, Gabby? Okay. See, and it even says Petunia on the bottom, so clearly, yeah, they were going to plan to put Petunia in it. So, Mad Dog, Mad Dog. See, Petunia and Gabby both help. So this would have been, yeah, after the whole How Dry I Am sequence. And yeah, I can see why this would have been removed. I mean, not because it wasn't funny or anything. I mean, that's a funny drawing right there. But I think it just would have dragged things on a bit too long. So I think, yeah, this is something that would have been visually interesting. But, nah, for pacing, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, it's going on way too long. Great drawings though. I mean, even the storyboards for the animators in this time period, it's just absolutely amazing. Just works of art on their own. You know, as much as I would like to say, hey, I'd like to own an original cell from back then, assuming some actually exist, I'd be happy even with an original storyboard drawing. There's Petunia, so there you go. Because as I said before, I hadn't seen these deleted scenes. I only decided during editing, I thought, you know what, I'm going to add this in and I'm just going to do this on the cuff. So, yeah, it would have been too many characters, I think, adding Petunia in. Because, yeah, it was pretty focused as it is. Mad Bear. It's funny. It actually is, but it's, again, oh, that's a good solid drawing right there. Just bang. Really, really top notch. But look at the design of Petunia, like, because you're so used to seeing the Frank Tashlin designs, because of course she was featured in his shorts. But yeah, her designs, seeing him like in the Bob Clampett style, it's really different, really weird. But yeah, it's still pretty solid though. So yeah, as I mentioned a million times, definitely worth cutting out. So let's see the next sequence. So sequence number 2. Okay, so cut a Porky, Petunia, open the door. Whereabouts would this be? Probably still the Mad Dog part. But this also shows that Bob Clampett was just so full of ideas that, so full of gag ideas that he could pretty much overwrite a cartoon. Doing all these storyboards and all that, and he was able to cut it out. So it's just amazing, just thinking of all those gags. Slam. But like I said, look at the design. I wonder what, like how she would have looked animated, like fully realized. It would definitely be interesting. Still going with the Mad Dog Bear. Okay, so he's playing off what he originally established. Okay, yeah. So now I get it. So it's like, so he does the whole setup with this bear that's like a mad dog, and now the real supposed mad dog comes and okay. This would have made the cartoon probably like a 15-minute, like a 2-reeler, epic or something. Jeez. That's pretty good. Just turns right there and my goodness. I will, but let me know also in the comments below if there are stuff like this for some of the cartoons, that if I should add them at the end and comment on them, because I think that's okay, just put a safe on top of your head. Okay, that he realizes his head's okay and he's quite happy. Yeah. Yeah, the silkworm rears its... Wow. Was it just gonna be... Okay, it's still standing. I wasn't sure if there's just a weird error in the drawing there. But why would you go back? Why? Oh, man. Yeah, so if you look at the sets, if you get a chance to look at storyboards, yeah, definitely do it. Definitely do it. Not all of them might be as funny as this, but a lot of it's just absolutely fascinating just to see how it's all done. So yeah, that's the final storyboard. So back to the cartoon and some new thoughts on this. First of all, I didn't even notice that the dog does this. If you look very closely, he just pinches the ice cream. Nice little touch there. So with this letter, I gotta wonder, what does Uncle Pinkus Pig look like? Maybe that's a character they could use in the comic book, but I like the idea of having the Tapioca Hotel in Hong Kong, where tapioca originated from South America, but it's now actually used in a lot of those bubble teas, you know, those little balls that you see. So yeah. So here we've got a little bit of a naughty gag. So of course you got the sock or a stocking, but I'm assuming that's a stocking and of course a bra. I mean, it's Clampett, what do you expect? But what's interesting is that stockings around this time were still made with silk. Nylon stockings would not become available until 2 years after this cartoon was released in 1940. How I know about stockings? Well, that's my little secret. Now, it's no secret that I'm not the best at IDing animators, hence why I ask other people to help me out on that front. But even I can tell, this is Chuck Jones' animation right here. In these earlier Clampett shorts, before Chuck would then take over Tashin's unit, you can just see that it stands out. It's different, it moves differently, and as Chuck himself explained that, well, Disney were king, and so who else were you going to emulate? Here's a minor gag that I enjoyed, how this is pretty much my kids right here, just, you know, if it's sugar, it's like sugar, 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 and of course the cake, well, you know what's coming, but it's still pretty funny to see. So here we get a wonderful callback to the whole sewing silkworm that we saw earlier, and of course with Porky stuttering, well, it makes for a pretty good gag. You know, it's all so, and you see these wonderful little embarrassing comments. I mean, look at Porky's expression look at his face, it's just fantastic. And it's good to see that Clampett then took it one step further and added it to this penguin gag here where he makes the hat and the stocking before and all that stuff, so, get it? So in case you're wondering, why this generic duck? Why not have Daffy Duck? Because it was introduced in 1937. My guess is that this short was already in production when Daffy came along in the Tex Avery short and then became huge, and this was just too far along. Because not long after this short, Clampett would actually use Daffy in the short Porky and Daffy. So that's what I think it is, but hey, that's just speculation on my part. So we're back with this dog, still animated by Chuck Jones, and the personality animation is just amazing. But I noticed with the shaver, so you got a, you know, person or animal versus something modern, electronic, and that's something that Chuck would do in some of his shorts like Doggone Modern and that sort of thing earlier on in his directorial career. So the last part of the short is really just madcap. There's no resolution to the story. That's, well, barely even there. But I do like that with the rule of 3, you've got the third time that we see this silkworm that ends the cartoon on an appropriate note. So yeah, it's pretty good. So now here's a brief excerpt from the Clampett retrospective video. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But my good friend Fox and the Fuchs gives his very brief thoughts on this cartoon.
Of course, I think this cartoon is a party for me. No, but it is one of my favorites. It might be as good as Chuck Jones Bob Clampett collaboration that you're gonna get. It has Clampett's quick and clever gags, and it seems to have Chuck's charm and character acting on the dog. But the additional one-shot characters steal the show for me. You know, this goose and this penguin, I think they look very rubbery and fun. And they chase around the house with the dog, and I think the dog has rabies. And you know, it's just a very quick, fun short, and these additional one-shot characters are much better than what they were gonna use. I think they were gonna use Petunia Pig and that Gabby character. So yeah, it's too bad that Goose and a penguin character never came back again, but it is what it is.
So what to rate this short? Honestly, it's a good solid 7.5 out of 10. It's funny, the gags are really crazy at times. I just feel it's not as memorable as some of Clampett's other shorts, but is it bad? Most certainly not. Definitely give this one a watch if you haven't, and my links below should take you to those sets, because I don't see this being on streaming services anytime soon due to the Chinese stereotype on that silkworm, but it is what it is. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.
Why, look, it's only old Black Fury after all. So, that's all, folks.